You are watching your award-winning cable access station, Channel 13 and 19, Athol Orange Community Television.
Hi, this is Hattie Nessel, and we are at Athol Orange Community Television and WVAO-LP Radio, 105.9 FM. And I am joined with Heidi Strickland and Pat Royks. And today we're going to be on the Save the Planet Updates program, June 23rd, 2017, talking about plastic bags. And we're very excited and very happy to report that the town of the town of Athol passed the plastic bag reduction bylaw. And this is the 54th town in the state that has passed a similar bylaw. And we're going to explain to you what that means. And we have these papers that were printed to show people the concerns about using plastic bags and why we shouldn't use plastic bags, the single-use plastic bags. And this is a nice picture from Somerville that just was the last town, most recent town up until Athol that passed this bylaw in their town. So theirs was effective December 1st, 2016, and ours will be effective January 1st, 2018. So people have 6 or 7 months to get ready for the change. And we're all here bragging about our wonderful reusable bags. And Heidi and Pat are going to share what they did to make this happen. It was almost a unanimous vote at the town hall. It was Article 38 on the agenda, which was the last one, and people stayed. People stayed and voted almost unanimously. You can see on the television, if you're watching and not on the radio, some of the handmade bags now that are being produced in Athol for people that forget a bag or need a bag or something like that. So Heidi, why don't you start with how you decided to take this on?
Well, mostly I really care about the environment. And I was aware that we were using a lot of plastic bags in our supermarkets and other stores for really no good reason, except in my opinion, for polluting our environment. And so around January, I just said one day, I'm going to work on banning plastic bags. And so bit by bit, I started talking to what is Heather?
Heather is the select board's administrative assistant.
And she was very helpful in getting information from other towns who had passed a bylaw banning plastic bags. And so she helped me get an original copy from Concord, and I went over that and looked at it to see what needed to be changed. And then from there, I started talking to my friend Pat and a few other people to see if they would join me in this endeavor to ban plastic bags. And again, Heather helped me to figure out the timeline of when I had to have the bylaw in and when, you know, the warrant, is it called a warrant?
Yes, the warrant for the town meeting. Right.
So that is really what.
Can you share some of the things about plastic bags? I know one of the things that really struck me was that an average size supermarket, which, you know, I think Hannaford might be average, Market Basket may be a little bit above average, but an average size supermarket uses over 5,000 plastic bags, single-use plastic bags a week.
A week.
A week, yeah. And you want to share some of the other things about plastic that we don't like?
Well, for one thing, when I take hikes around Athol, which I like to do a lot, I find that there's plastic bags all over the place, in the bushes, in the trees. The other thing is I talked to the transfer station, and the manager in Athol said he's sick and tired of cleaning up the transfer station because the plastic bags are flying all around, making it not look very inviting. I know that it doesn't decompose for over 1,000 years, so it is permanent, and it does damage to mammals, to marine life. So there's just really no redeeming qualities except convenience.
So Pat,
Right.
you got involved.
I just, well, I got involved partly, I mean, because Heidi approached me with this, but it's something, the environment and energy use is something that's been important to me for a long time. I was on the Energy Committee in Athol when the Energy Committee first started, and we did the hard work of making Athol one of the first round green communities in the state of Massachusetts, and I think it's something that we as Athol citizens should be really proud of, and I see this as a continuation of that. You know, and to add to some of the reasons why we need to do this, in addition to what Heidi was saying, it's like, you know, people say, well, we could recycle them. Well, the fact is that these single-use plastic bags are not being recycled. There are some statistics that we came across that talk about, in the United States, 60,000 bags given out every 6 seconds. And of those, only 15% or less are ever recycled. And you think about how many bags that is and how much damage is going into our environment with that number of bags. And it really is about habit. You know, we have gotten used to getting these where, you know, we don't even think about it, and, you know, food just goes in it or other things. And there were, for so many years, those were not available to us, and people survived. People did really well, you know, and it was better for our environment. So that's a big part of why I got involved, is to keep this going, keep the importance of our environment in the front of our mind.
And the habit of remembering your plastic bags. So,
Yeah, it's a big one.
Your reusable bags. This is
Yeah.
one of the handmade ones, and this is one of the ones from Hannaford. And this one, Pat is going to talk about that.
Yeah, this is a great one. This is one, again, from Hannaford, and it says, receive a little good karma from your bag. And what it is it once a month, Hattie?
Every month.
Every month, they choose a nonprofit that will benefit from the sale of these bags. The bags are $1.
No,
$1 of the sale of the bag
That's right.
goes to the nonprofit. The bag costs.
We don't talk about that
Okay.
on the radio.
Yeah, but anyway, okay. I'm not even sure how much they sell them for, but anyway, it's a way to be sure that you have bags for your shopping, and at the same time, paying it forward, you know, doing something good for your community. So if you're looking for a little good karma and you work for a nonprofit, you might want to think about getting involved in this program that Hannaford has.
And there's one there from one of our new stores in town.
This is a bag from Marshall's. It's quite big, will hold a lot.
Oh, that is really big.
Yeah.
And they do sell quite a few other bags.
And from where?
And then I have a bunch here from Market Basket. This was, I'm not supposed to say it,
we don't
but
tell.
Market Basket. And this is one from Market Basket that has
Insulation.
insulation in case you're buying frozen food.
Right.
And one more handmade, one of our friends and participator in this project, Joan Dupree, sewed a bunch of bags, and we hope to sew many, many more.
So I think that one of the things that I was aware of was that people would say to me, I forgot my my reusable bags.
Right.
And somebody else said, you know, when I come in and I empty my reusable bag, I put it right on my doorknob when I go out. And there it is hanging on the doorknob. So I just take it out and put it back in the car. And then if I forget it in the car, I go back out and get it.
Right.
It's not such a big deal, really.
Right.
But once you get into the habit, you've got it.
Right.
And as we said, wherever you go, if you go to the library, you can use these bags. If you go to Job Lot, Marshall's, shoe stores, whatever,
Right.
these bags, they're solid. I mean,
They
this
are.
one, it's starting to show its wear, but it's still strong. And this one has place for bottles inside and everything. And then I take this one for things that are like lettuce or broccoli that I just
Might
don't
be
want-
wet or
Yeah,
something.
wet. So if anybody wants to know more about this, we're going to see if we can leave some of these up at the library to show people. But it's very devastating for marine mammals, particularly. It's all in the ocean, huge amounts, huge dead zones full of these plastic bags that just flew away. And when we go forward here, we're going to do there's other issues, like there's the single-use water bottles that are, to my mind, unnecessary. You know, today we have our mugs with us, but otherwise we have our water bottles with us. There's a lot we can do about using less. And I find that these, they're really strong, all of these bags, whichever one it is, it's really strong. And the whole entire state of California, you cannot get a single-use plastic bag at the supermarket. My son lives out there, and that's why I've got one here from the Golden Gate Bridge somewhere around here. But anyway, and they manage. They manage.
I think most communities that have passed these reduction bylaws are finding that even though there might be a little hesitation on the part of some of the businesses initially, what they're finding is that it ends up costing them less. Because the reality is when a business hands out all of those plastic bags, the cost of that is going to the consumer. We're not paying for it right there at the cash register, but we're paying for it with the products that we're buying and the, whatever has been added on. So we really hope that we can help people build this new habit.
So I want to thank Heidi and Pat because they did a lot of work to have this passed. And of course, as always, AOTV and WVAO LP, our FM station here, 105.9 on the radio and on the television. And we thank you for cooperating with our plastic bag ban.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Hattie.
Hattie.